you are going to have a conversation, a dialogue between someone who has seen your document and now wants to know you better. Hello guys, welcome to Manageable Life Abroad channel. If you are a student who have gotten a partial scholarship and you think like your dream is coming to an end because you don't get that fully funded scholarship, you and I know that your parents don't have that sum of money or neither a bank statement to help you. Here comes in Mpower loan, okay? And you have taken an Mpower loan because that will be like your last resort, okay? Now, in this video, what I'm going to tell you is how to respond, how to answer visa interview question regarding your finances, especially when you have like a loan. Okay, how to respond to questions like that. And that's what we are going to look at in this video. If this interests you, stay with me as I dive deeply into how to respond to questions like that. Okay? Okay, guys. So, as I have said in my intro, now you are in front of the VO officer. First thing you have to think about, you are going to have a conversation, a dialogue between someone who has seen your document and now wants to know you better. Okay, that's the first thing. And don't put all your weakness on your student's loan. What do I mean by that? Okay, now you may have a good reason as to why you are going back to your country. I mean, like your home ties. You know, of course, you are smart enough to come here and do your master's. But now your weakness will be like, you will just be thinking, everything surrounds on how am I going to respond to questions like, am I going to pay back this loan or something like that? That's like your weakness, okay? But don't just put everything there, because the one thing I want you to know is that, yes, of course, the VOs are different. I mean, visa officers are different. But their responsibility is to see that basically you have enough money to come here and do your master's or whatever level. It is not in their mandate, basically, but they do that. So basically, it is not in their mandate to know how are you going to pay back that loan. No, that's between you and the lender. That's between you and Mpower, or you and HB Education Investment, or you and Prodigy Finance, or whatsoever. But some may want to know. And here comes in how you should respond to short questions. Now, there are many ways you may want to look at, and I don't know which of these ones I'm going to mention you fall into, which category you fall into. Have you been working? Do you have work experience? I mean, like, are you working now? Okay. So if you're working, you may want to talk with your HR so that they will give you what we call a student leave, a study leave. And when they are doing that, internally, tell them the fact. And this is where relationship between you as an employee and the employer has to be very, very much strong, because for them to do what I'm going to say for you. Some companies, they might give you a study leave, but it's not like a study leave pay. It means that they will just allow you for you to go, and they'll guarantee that when you go back, you have a space. But they're not going to be paying you, let's say, 50% of the money of what you have been receiving. And this is where your relationship comes in. Talk with them internally that I don't need this money. All I need a document that I will present to the VO that I am on a study leave. Okay, my company has given me a study leave with pay. So with this amount, I will be using this money to pay my interest rate. And I don't think if this is the right video for me to explain how Mpower student loan works, because I have done that, I guess. Okay, but let me just dive into it a bit. Now, when you are in school, you only pay the interest rate. That, of course, you know. So if you've gone for a loan already, I assume you are watching this video because you have taken a loan already, or maybe you are thinking of. So you only pay the interest rate while you are in school. But now, maybe even the money you are going to get from that company is not enough. This is where where business comes in. Do you have a business? Okay. Do you have a bank statement? Now, if you have a business, you may want to register that business. Have a certificate to prove that you have a business and you are getting this sum of money monthly. Okay. This is for someone who has a business. If you don't have, yet still, there is another option. Okay. And what is that? Now, you may have some personal savings you have done, okay, throughout while you'll be working and all of that. You may want to present that as well. Now, again, that again may not be enough. I mean, like maybe the amount of money you've saved already. This is where it becomes so important for you to know the amount of money you are going to pay. I mean, like the monthly payment. Of course, once you sign it, your document with Mpower, you will know your monthly payment. So you have to check that. Let's say if you'll be paying $300 per month, you may want to multiply by that by 12. Let's say for a year, that's 3,600. Okay, dollars. So your bank statement has to be around that sum. So you know that you are going to tell the viewer for the first 6 months, I will be using my bank statement, the money I have already, to pay for the interest, to pay the interest rate. Because, and you need to understand how Mpower loan works if you want to pass your visa interview using Mpower. You have to explain to them because they don't know, some don't know. So you need to tell them that don't assume for them. When I'm in school, I'm only entitled to pay the interest rate, which is this. Tell them the state that sum that you'll be paying. If you'll be paying 300, and based on what I have as a bank statement, this money is enough for me to pay this while I am in school. Now, you may not want to present yourself that you will be coming here to work. We know, of course, students work, international students or whatever student. You work for a maximum of 20 hours, let's say for international students. But you don't want to present yourself to that VO telling them that you will be working and you'll be using that money to pay. No, no, no. That will be like a third option. I mean, like if you have, let's say, a bank statement already as personal funds, or you have a business, okay, with a bank statement, and you're getting that money. I mean, like your bank statement is from your business, or you've gotten a support letter. I mean, a study leave pay letter from your employer. Now, but that money is not enough. Now you may want to bring in that about you working. Okay, that for the first, because I want to focus my first semester, I just want to focus on getting good grades. I know it's difficult, it's a different system. So I will just be using this sum of money that I've already saved, which is like a liquid capital, to pay the interest while I'm in school. So let's say if it's 4 months per semester, you know, and if you be paying like 300, that's like 1,200. And if what you have already in your bank statement is up to that, then you know you are good to go. So in my second semester, of course, students as international students, don't hide it from them. International students were entitled to work like maximum of 20 hours. I've spoken with department and all of that, and I've spoken with the admission officials, and they've told me, and I know so. Okay, so going into that, I will be using 10 or 12 or 15. Don't say you're going to be using all of your 20 hours. No. Okay, because the purpose is to go there and get better certificate, so that when you go back to your country, you'll be at the top in your area, because that's how you present yourself, that you'll be going back to your country. Okay, so I'll be using like 12 to 13 hours to work, earning this amount of money, and I should be good to pay while I am in school. Now the other one, and which is like is the reality, and this is the reality, that's how I am paying mine. Now, schools in the US try best to give a breakdown of all the expenses, that when you get that money, you won't come here and be stranded. How do I mean? So if they are talking about transportation fare, they will put like feeding, they will put like housing, they put the maximum that they think, because based on the area they know what's the average. They put the maximum amount that they think when you come you'll be comfortable. Okay, now it is up to you to tell the VO officer that my personal funds which Mpower is going to give me, this is where, and I did this one, trust me. I open my computer, Excel, check the average that I'll be paying for housing, how much I'll be eating, okay? And I have like what we call contingency in case of anything happens. And so I try to look at everything, how much the real, I mean, a realistic budget of what I will be using when I am here. I did that. So unfortunately, they don't ask me anything of how am I going to pay back the loan anyways. Okay. That was just the fortunate part of it. But that's what I did. So you have a realistic budget to show the VO that this is it. So with the amount of money, Mpower, let's say if it's like 27,000 or $10,000 per semester, this money is so much that after taking, let's say, I will pay 900 or 850 dollars per month for my housing. You multiply that, let's say, by 6 months, let's say for a semester or so. Then feeding, this is something I can control. I know what to eat and what not to eat. So on average, I'm going to be eating $300. So you multiply that, let's say, by 6. So you do those calculations and you subtract whatever amount you are going to have for that semester from those expenses, those realistic budgets you have made, and see what is left with you. You should be able to tell the VO that with this amount that is left, it's enough for me to pay. Even if I don't work, I don't even use my bank statement or my personal funds rather. This money is enough because I'm just going to connect Mpower with my account, so they will be taking their money. This money is enough because the most important thing, the VO officers need to see that you have a strategy to pay back in case you are asked. So the whole of this video is to focus on how you are going to convince the VO officer in case you are asked, how are you going to pay back the interest? And you should let them know that you are only entitled to pay the interest rate while you are in school. But this is the reality. Myself, that's the same thing I'm doing. So it's Mpower's money. I just connect them with my bank, and whenever the time reaches for them to get the money, they will just collect it. It's like auto pay. And the benefit is that I will be having a percentage decrease based on my interest rate. Okay, so I don't even have to bother myself. I just connected their account with mine. Okay, and they will be withdrawing their money. They will be transferring their money. I'm okay. Okay, so that's the whole thing. Okay, and some of us, you may want to speak with your aunt or whosoever. Now this is the idea. If you have an aunt or uncle or whosoever, a third party that may want to help you, okay, now don't use that money to put their details in your GS160. What am I even saying? Now if your expenses is going to be $50,000 everything, try as much as to take all that money from Mpower. So you get like, let's say, $50,000. Now, if you have any of your aunts or any person that is ready to help you, that money that they're going to help you with, use that as that money you are going to show to the VO that I'll be using this money from my aunt or uncle to pay the interest rate while I am in school. To pay the interest while I am in school. Okay? And as soon as you say that one, make sure you have something that connects you and your aunt. While your aunt may want to help you with certain amount of money, even if it's 5,000, okay, have the VO officers understand that you have the relationship with your aunt. I mean, when I say relationship, it's not about the relationship of you being of her being your aunt, but the relationship of them doing that because you have something to give them back in return when you come back to your country. So relate that your aunt is into business and all of that, and if what you are going to do relates to their business, you may want to connect that you are coming back to do whatever. You are going back to play something, a role in that. And one important thing I think I should mention in this video is that if you have not been working with your aunt or your uncle that is helping you, and if they have a business, tell the VO that I have been working with my uncle. They are not going to ask you, you know, even if you are just moving from undergraduate level, you want to go directly to masters. Tell them even when you are in school, after school or after college, you go and work with them, and you've made some huge sum of money for them. So they trust you, they believe you, and they believe that now it's time for you to advance your degree and come back to help. So even though they're not like providing that huge sum of money, but even that amount of money, you want to tie it to something other than just being the family relationship. Okay? Because you may want the VO to understand that they are going to benefit from you at the end of the day. Okay, so I have given you, so in a summary, you either have a study leave pay letter, even if it's not study leave pay, but have that you are going to show that you'll be using that money to pay, or a personal funds, which like you have to provide a bank statement, or a third party. But if it's a third party, make sure, I have made a video already, when you have a third party helping you, make sure they write you a support letter. They write you a support letter to back that with your with the bank statement that they are providing. Okay, and the other thing I said is that if you are into business, it's going to help again. You are getting something from this business, and this is your bank statement. And I told you about coming here to work as well, which of course you don't want to present. That will be like a backup. Now you've presented that you have this and that, okay, for your first 6 months, and after which, of course, you are going to take some time to work because you have been in contact with the administration or your department, and you believe you have something to offer, meaning that you are going to be doing certain thing or a job, on campus job. But when you are telling them, you don't need to tell them that you are going to use all your 20 hours to work. Okay, so guys, I think I have said a lot, and I don't want this video to go up to like 20 minutes. So if you have learned anything from this video, or you have any experience regarding Mpower loan, leave them on the comment section, and I should be in a good state to respond to those questions. Okay, and I tell you what, if you are struggling with your visa interview, you are still like feeling that trepidation, you're not comfortable, you may want to reach out to me. I may not know how to answer questions, but I tell you what, I know how to ask questions. So if I ask you and you are able to convince yourself that you believe the answers you have given, and you are able to convince me, trust me, we can make this work. You pass your visa interview with that student loan. Okay? See you guys in my next video. Bye bye.